It's still chugging away. Ah, there we go. Hello, Commodore, and hello, crafters. How are we this evening? I am Big D. Lady D is taking some muscle relaxers for her back. So she is the blackout holiday season in retail is rough. Let me tell you. Pale Orc, what is up, my guy? So, the last Tuesday stream of October. I did no Orc content this month. Mr. Tash. Greg, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I got no Orctober stuff done this year. I had plans for a bunch of different stuff, and I never got around to any of it. I had too many other good things going on. Tina Raven, my friend, wonderful to see you as well. And now with Orctober coming to a close, we are quickly approaching No Bolter November. Yes, it is that time of year again where we take a break from 40K and focus on other parts of this hobby. Those of you who have been following him on Discord and been watching my Instagram, I'm trying to finish up this unit of Old Marines so that I can go into with a fresh and clean palette. I have the Ogre half of a Feast of Bones box to get to, as well as a lovely, lovely double box of the Sineshi Arts from Wrath and Rapture that I may begin building my Hedonites of Sinesh. Kaiser, my friend, good to see you. Good to see you, sir. So, don't have a lot to talk about tonight. I mean, we have some important stuff, but this is mainly me musing about the upcoming storm of releases that have been planned, and me getting some work done on my lovely Old Marines army. I finished up the bikes last night. Got a free-handed flag on the sergeant. Oh yes. Yes, we're gonna get to that. I'm really excited about the box, actually. But yeah, I just finished up my old boys. So they didn't come with the biker bases that I'm used to. They actually came with the old GW Slata cavalry base, and the Slata cavalry base, the tires are basically on the very edge. They don't stay on very well. So I ended up just taking 72 by 45s and put them on there, which is pretty close to the biker bases. And I only had 4, so I had to custom make one that really, I just cut it. I've got this plastic card is that I've got this stuff on. It's actually an extra, sorry, not plastic card. It's extruded PVC sheeting. I basically traced an oval off of one of these, glued them together, and then beveled it, and it's pretty close to a regular base. So thank you, Kaiser. I gotta say, Dana Howell and her video about just kind of going for it and just going for it, letting me freehand all these skulls on here, and freehanding my own chapter markings. So this is going to be a bike unit. So they've got, put the shoulder so you can see it. It's a pair of arrows doing this, a greater than and less than symbol. First squad gets a dot. Second squad will have 2 dots. Third squad will have 3 dots. Fourth squad will have a line. And then if I manage to get past that, I got some other things to do. But each squad will have their own. Interesting to see. So, let's get into that. Let's talk about that. The new Codex goes on pre-sale this coming weekend. There have been a lot of little tidbits they've given so far. It looks good. Our sagas are back. Our relics are back. And we're getting, as Kaiser points out, a brand new unit, a variation on Reavers that are specifically designed for killing. If they're within 18 inches, Psychers get a -1 to their cast roll. And if they're within 9, they get a -2. And if you try and target them with a psychic ability, and an 18's a lot on the new smaller board. It really is. It's crazy. It's like, it's in 8th edition, I played a 100% Primaris Wolf army. And I love the Reavers in 8th edition. We couldn't melee very well, because 8th edition had problems with melee. Having a group of Reavers that could bound in on second turn, bound in with a Smash Captain, and just lay waste to stuff. And they get a lot of attacks. Well, and here's the thing. Are Reavers going to be good enough to finally be used? No. Not for anybody that's not wolves. The Blades of Morkai are a Space Wolf specific variation on the Reavers. They lose one of the other Reaver abilities. Well, they don't. That's the thing about them. They don't have the ability to go the Bullpup anymore. The Blades of Morkai are specifically Heavy Pistol, and it's Heavy Pistol and Knife only. Now, again, I have a problem with the Knife because it's basically a chainsword, but they're not updating it for what it looks like so that it has the additional 1 AP that the new chainsword has. So it's just an extra AP0 attack. But keeping in mind, when you charge, you get an extra attack. The Reavers start off with a base 2/3. So you're talking about a charge 3/4. And you're talking about with that knife, so 4/5. So a group of 5 of them coming in is 21 attacks. So 21 attacks on a charge. Hitting on twos. With the additional bonus as Space Wolf, as the specific group, to cause hell for Psychers. And considering now that we've now got at least 2 models in the game, that can only take X number of damage per phase. Being able to slow down his ability to use psychic damage. Even if you don't have that unit, it could be counted on that you're going to be. Am I cutting the aerial off? No. Is I'm trimming the top and I'm drilling them out, and I will be replacing it with a piece of wire so that they keep their terminal. Their aerial. But the aerial snapped off a whole bunch of them over age. It's plastic. I mean, it's a tiny aerial, so it's very fragile. So I'm just trimming it nice and flat and then drilling it out so that I can stick a piece of wire in there. Oh, easily said, easily done. All right, so yeah, I'm working on these termies. I've also got this squad ready to go. I just got to add their colors, and yeah, no. The aerial is really awesome. It's just I've had a couple snap off, and a couple of them even came without the aerial. And since I think it's a really unique part of our coating on them that are the right size for the aerial, I actually measured them, so I'll be priming them and then gluing them into space, and then finish painting them up with the rest of the model. Because no, these are vintage. I want them to look vintage. This whole army, I keep looking at it. Well, what am I going to get for it, for this and for that and for blah blah blah? And I'm like, I am so far away from ever thinking about when I'm going to stick anything Primaris in this army. I am going to have at least a Vic the dog. I'm going to at least wait till I have a brigade worth of old Marines or firstborns before I even look at adding anything Primaris to this army. It is for funsies. Will it be competitive? Maybe someday, but it's not a concern. I want this to have fun. I want to be able to put these old boys down and have people go, "The hell is that?" Yeah, let's come back talking about all the Space Wolf stuff coming down and Death Watch. We'll get to that in a bit though, but let's talk about that Space Wolf stuff, seeing as that I am Space Wolf's #1 fan. We're getting our Codex on pre-sale this weekend. We're also getting our Space Wolf dice on pre-order this weekend. Oh, I guess you haven't been in for a while, my friend. I don't need to invest a kidney. I was gifted. Let me get them. Oh, everybody gets to see me show the toys off again. Where's the toys? I have a friend of mine who had a bunch. Man, I've been doing this for 2 weeks now. I had a friend who had a bunch of ancient Warhammer stuff. Now, he told me, I've got some stuff in my basement. I'm just going to get rid of it. Do you want it? Or else I'll just throw it away. I'm thinking, he's got a little bit. I'll take that little bit. Oh, how wrong I was. Well, here's what just to show me. These are the first Termies I finished on. These are the original plastic Termies. These are the Space Hulk Termies. Now, painting now. But I have a tactical squad I'm going to put them on the tray so I can hold them up to the thing, because this first unit is done. Yes. And these guys, first squad is all done. And I have a few more pounds of ancient Squig Boss Mad Knobs. How are you, sir? I have, several pounds worth of these figures. Still in the plastic. Original company. And Devastator Squadron. Yes, it's crazy some of the stuff I got here, Kaiser. I mean, lasers. Or the thing I love showing off, just to keep showing it off. Squats. A box of squats. Yeah, this is crazy fun. It's good stuff here. So this entire even the even the bike squadron that came in this set. Even the bike squadron that came in this set is the old squadron. I had to go out and get a crap load of super glue and get another fresh thing of zip kicker, because it's all metal bodies with plastic arms for these Space Marines. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, and that's what I was talking about earlier. We're going to come back to that, so don't leave me right away. I want to finish talking about the Space Wolf stuff, because the Space Wolf stuff has got me excited. Nice. Oh goodness, Kaiser! It's crazy. I mean, this giveaway, the stuff he is giving me, and I actually have given away quite a bit of stuff, and I will be giving some more stuff away. I actually will be, for the 600 subscriber. As I'm going to talk about it tonight, the 600 subscriber, I'll be giving away some other stuff. I have some other goodies I want to give away to the world. What I really want to find is I want to find a Tallarn. I want to find a Tallarn. I want to find a Tallarn. Yeah, I want to find a Tallarn Imperial Guard player, because I think they would appreciate, the original metal box, the Tallarn Raiders. And that's the thing. I mean, this is what sparked my. This is the thing. This is what's kind of sparked me. I was burnt out. I was utterly burnt out. I got about halfway through my Indominus box of wolves, converting them all to wolves. I got them all converted. I got about halfway through painting them, and I was just like, I put them aside. And at some point, I'll have to show you guys the retro Tau army that a friend of mine, I'm going to actually do a showcase for it for the end of the year. It's not mine to keep, but a friend of mine who played Tau retro, like he played them during the first two editions they were around. He got out of the game, and I have his army on permanent loan, which is why I was looking at getting into Tau and learning how to play them and actually build and paint a few figures of my own. So I actually have a full Tau retro army. I mean, it's got 2 of the tanky things and a bunch of the guys in the suits. I literally know nothing about Tau, but I've got 2 battle cases full of them already painted, beautifully painted. Like I said, I was getting burnt on painting. I had done all this stuff with the wolves. I converted Indominus. I painted up the assault. Intercessors. I painted up like 2 squads of regular Marines I had that were still wolves and a couple more HQs. And I was going to dive into the box, and I got some base coats down on them, and I just got burnt on them. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take a break from it and maybe start working on my Death Guard. And I started working on my Death Guard, and I built a bunch of Death Guard, and I needed the building. I was in a spot where building was good. And I built a bunch of Death Guard, and I got them primed up, and I'm like, okay, let me get paint. I don't want to paint these guys. And I put them back in the box, and I'm like, I will get to painting them at some point. And then I started working on the knight that I got. I got a great deal on a knight from a friend of mine, and I knocked that down, didn't I? Yeah. I got a great deal on a knight from a friend of mine, and I started working on it, and I mean, it's looking good. I'm about halfway through its paint job. The base undercoats are all done, and now it's time to start doing the upper layer. I had to put it down. I'm like, oh. And I was just spent on the same old. I don't know what it was. I just was spent. And then my buddy reached out to me, and he's like, hey, I got some old 40K stuff. Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll take it and see what I can do. And I'm, like I said, I was expecting to pick up like a shoebox worth of stuff. The newest pieces are from 1996, I think. There might be some 97 pieces in there. But most of it is pre 93. Most of it's pre-second edition. There's a large portion that's right second edition, there's a second edition box set and a bunch of these boxes that came out at the same time, and it's a huge amount of that. That was what the edition that got me into 40K, and I exploded on this stuff. I built and painted up these guys in like a couple weeks. I mean, I've got squad of 10, squad of 5 Terminators, squad of 5 bikes ready to go. I've got the base coats and the undercoats done on the other 10 Terminators and on the HQs. I just got to put some of the gold and the purple on them to finish them out and then do the freehanding, and they're good to go. It's funny, they're actually mostly done already because the grays and the shading are the hardest part to get done the way I wanted them, and they're good. They're done. They're at that point. And I've been like really excited to do these guys because 3 squads of Terminate squad of bikes and the captain are a 1,000 point army. It's exactly, well, not exactly. It's like 985 points or something. But it's I can play for fun with my friends 1,000 point army, which is a lot of what we're playing these days when we get together to play. So being able to throw down 1,000 points, that's great. That's awesome. And I'll be able to throw these old Marines down, and I'm really passionate about these guys. I mean, my lore is finally kicking in, and doing the freehanding, which I've never been comfortable with, and suddenly I'm doing freehanding on every single figure, has a ton of freehanding on it, and that was totally outside my comfort zone, and I'm like, yeah, I'm digging this. So, and it's pushing my skill set, which I'd like, and I'm enjoying that a lot. My buddy Jam Jar, how have you been, sir? I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Hey. So it's just been, these old Marines have kind of like revitalized my love of the hobby and reminded me what I love about it. I love the creativity. And then as soon as I get my creative juices flowing, and now they're announcing, then they announced the release of the new Wolf Codex, and there's a box set. And those box sets, okay, I did the math on it. In England, those are going to be 85 pounds sterling. And in the US, those boxes are going to be $140. I don't know how much the parts are if you price them out in England separately, but a reliable source told me it's about a 30% price break. And when I did the math, because in America, that box set contents is about $190 worth of value. So $190 and you're getting $50 off. It's about 30% off. That's a great deal. Now, admittedly, I don't need 2 of those units. I have no need for another group of intercessors, just none whatsoever. I have more than enough intercessors. And yes, the Blades of Mordecai in there. They're just Reavers. So good to see you, buddy. It really is. I don't need more Reavers. I have squads of Reavers. And it's just a point. And my Reavers are already built in the configuration that the Blades of Mordecai are going to be in. So I'm just going to say they're Blades of Mordecai if I want to run them. So I don't really need them. But Lady D is building salamanders and will need more, doesn't have any Reavers, and can use more intercessors because I don't have, I think they have 10 or 15 intercessors total. So they'll be able to use more intercessors. But and that's the thing. You've already pre-ordered it. Wow, it doesn't go on pre-sale in the States until this weekend. That's the thing. That box, for me, I missed getting my hands on a copy of Tooth and Claw. So the first box he was introduced in. So I didn't get him there. And then when I realized that I really wanted the box, that when I finally had because I had other purchases that were ahead of it, when I finally had the wherewithal to try and go after getting a Primaris Space Wolf Start Collecting box, I understand completely. Yeah, and now that's the thing. I tried to get my hands on a Primaris Space Wolf box when I finally decided that I'm going to pull the trigger on that one because I want the units in there. Again, I don't need the intercessors, and I like the aggressors, but for my build they weren't necessary. I had an interesting build. I admit it was not a conventional build compared to some people, but I really liked the way my unit was working out. But I was willing to get the box specifically because Lady D's army needs aggressors. And again, she would need at that point, she would have needed intercessors, and I would get the lieutenant because admittedly, he has a great, absolutely wonderful sculpt. So we finally were going to pull the trigger and get it. Nobody had a copy of it. And when I went even out to Amazon to look for it at one point, it was not there. So it's aggravating. I'm not going to say it's not aggravating. It's aggravating as hell. But it's livable, if you know what I mean. So it's acceptable at this point. I mean, it is what it is. The price wise, it's good. Would I prefer that they not put intercessors in it? Yes. But then again, what troop are they going to put in there? Because these are meant to be combat patrols. So they're going to have an HQ, a troop, and some other stuff in there. So when they put the infiltrators in the orc and wolf box, a lot of people are like, those guys aren't very wolfy. I disagree, but I agree. They're not going to put old Marines in that box. So I mean, they're not going to they're not getting rid of old Marines, but they're certainly not going to promote them like they're going to promote the Primaris right now. What are they going to put in there? Intercessors. Could they have put combat intercessors? They could have, or the assault intercessors, but those don't have a multi-part kit out in the wild yet. So they're not going to have those yet. They could put intercessors in there. They could have waited and put heavy intercessors in there, or staggered the relief to put assault intercessors in there. That would have been my, and release those this week. That would have been my choice, because those are the most wolfiest thing ever. Did you put any veggies in there?
Oh, no, I forgot to put
Yeah, put this back in there. Throw the veggies in there.
Just put the veggies on the side.
Well, you need to put veggies in there. I need kids. And what was I saying? Assault intercessors. Yeah, I mean, I admit the tactical war suit, again, great unit, not very wolfy. What would I have rather seen in there? I would have rather to see them put a impulsor. Put an impulsor, 5 assault intercessors, or even 10 assault intercessors. Put the impulsor, put a squad of 10 assault intercessors, that lieutenant, that Space Wolf lieutenant, and then put the Blades of Morkai in there. You're pretty close on price. The impulsor is $65. The warsuit is $60. So it's a $5 difference. That'd have been pretty cool. That would have been a much more wolfy box in my mind. There is some reality that GW does not. GW doesn't play the game they produce. I really don't believe they do. I believe they know how to build figures. I believe they know how to build really great looking figures, and they know how to paint up really great looking figures, and they know how to put together really slickly produced books. But I don't believe they actually play the rules that they sell. And the main reason I say that is you look at how they put together certain boxes and you go, that's not really that doesn't make sense. Every single Wolf box recently has had intercessors in it. If you got the Christmas box last year, it had intercessors in it. This new box has intercessors in it. The Tooth and Claw had intercessors in it. Everything, yes, you need intercessors, but my God, every single release has intercessors in it. The only one that didn't was the Wolf, the Wolf and Orc box. What is it? The Saga of the Beast. And that had infiltrators. Again, so many troop choices. And I agree. And that is I'm gonna tell you right now, Kaiser. First off, hang on. Commodore. I absolutely agree. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. We as people who have been playing for a bit, one of the things these boxes are not for us. They're not for us that already have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 points of our primary army. That's not who these boxes are made for. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. But what I'm also going to say to you, Kaiser, is that I don't think we're going to get screwed. I saw the preview they put up on Warhammer Community today. I read it over pretty closely. I looked at yeah, exactly. That's Start Collecting. They don't call them Start Collecting. They call them Combat Patrols, but they're out phasing the Start Collecting boxes for these Combat Patrols. So you can take a box, open it up, put the guys down, and you've got a Combat Patrol army to start off. Every one of these boxes supposedly is going to have around 25 CP army. So you're going to see an HQ, a troop, and then some other units to fill them out. That's what we're going to see. And I think for each one they do for one of the Marines, they're also going to throw in, like I said, if I buy it, I'm going to buy it so I get the captain. I mean, I get the lieutenant and give everything else to the wife so she can build up her salamanders. But that is the thing. These boxes, what I was saying, the wolf rules. The wolf rules are up on, some of them are up on the community site. We're getting our sagas back. We're getting a lot of our relics back. We get a new unit that's specific to us. I'm thinking every chapter is going to get a unit, like you're saying there. I think there's going to be a new chapter. Every chapter is going to get a unit that's going to be basically a regular unit reskinned that fits their specific stuff, or at least all of us non-codex compliant guys. They won't have to sell, they won't have to make new models, but they can sell new paint schemes. Yeah. But the competitive group that I hang out with, and we were dissecting what we saw of the rules for the wolves. This is going to be a good codex. The wolves are going to be I think it's going to come down to, I don't know if we're going to be a top tier like some of the other Marines are right now. I mean, right now, apparently the White Scars and the Salamanders are the big two bad boys out on the competitive scene. Whatever. I'll be happy with my wolves throwing lots at people. I'm cool with it. I'll see when I get the book. It's one of the few books I'm actually pre-ordering, so I have it the day it comes out. Because wolves, oh yeah, I'll be happy with it either way. I really will. I'm certain that I'll be happy of it. Again, could they tailor them to be tighter for specific chapter use? Yes, they absolutely could better tailor them. But that would mean that they would have the experience of running them, and they're also telling players, this is how you play this army. And I think that's part of the point these things are not going to do. I think Commodore hit it on the head. I think these boxes are going to be very generic and have generic units, no real specialty units in them. other than something like a reskinned unit. That being said, Death Watch, they're getting their box and their rule book. And from what I hear, from what they've shown for the Death Watch, the very few Death Watch players I know seem pretty happy with it. I don't know Death Watch. I'm not a fan of the Inquisition, period. So to me, it's just another weird looking army for the Marines. But I did price the units of it, and it's about the same thing. It's about $190 worth of USD for figures that you're getting for $140. I gotta say, the new dice coming out for the Wolves are a must-have. They are probably the single most beautiful dice I've seen since I got my Death Guard dice. I don't play Death Watch, but those Death Watch dice are pretty cool looking too. I didn't see that, but I imagine it would, and that's gonna be something I use. I imagine that we're going to see a start collecting. Sorry, not a start collecting. We're going to see a combat patrol box for each army the same time they release their codex. Because again, remember, and this is the thing we got to remember, we're experienced players. We've been playing this a while. We know how the game goes. These combat patrol boxes are designed for a brand new player. Here's your codex of the army you want to play, and here's your box of a box that's your army to start playing the game right out the box. And so, yeah, I mean, this month we're going to get Wolves and Death Watch. Next month, we're going to get Death Guard and Blood Angels. I'm really looking forward to that because I want to see what they're going to put in the Death Guard box, because there's a new commander figure, a new HQ choice coming for Death Guard that I want desperately. And I love Death Guard. Yeah, that new Death Guard HQ just looks so good. I can't wait to see it. Now, I can guess, though. Now, and here's the thing. This is me going by what they have shown us so far. They're not going to screw the Demon Engines. I think, here's the one thing that I think they're going to do, Kaiser, and this is what I'm worried about. And I'll be honest, my biggest fear is that I've heard from multiple sources that Disgustingly Resilient, the IG box would be funny, it's supposed to be 25 power. Yeah. I can only imagine what they're going to throw in that box. I can tell you right now, there's going to be a Layman Russ in that box, because that's the only way they're going to make up 13 points. Yeah, there's going to be a Layman Russ in that box. But the thing is, I'm concerned because I have heard from multiple sources that Disgusting and Resilient is getting nerfed. And I'm not happy. If they nerf it too hard, it's not going to be... One of the things I've heard about them taking with Disgusting and Resilient is it's supposedly one variation I've heard somebody is... I don't know if to believe what they say it or not. They believe it's going to get nerfed so that basically Disgusting and Resilient will reduce the damage of an attack by 1. So a 2 damage attack is 1 damage. And that's all it's going to do. I'm not going to say... Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. It's not a nerf, but, and here's why I say but. Right now, when I play Death Guard, and I've played it recently, if I take a group of Death Guard and I run them out there, yes, they only have one wound. But I have Disgusting and Resilient on them where I'm re-rolling, or I'm re-rolling because I put a Plague Surgeon in there with the special ability on them. And I'm re-rolling 1s and 2s. Get my 5s and 6s. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and that's the thing. I guess if that's all they do, that's fine. It just makes me wonder what are they going to do with some of the other figures. Because what's that going to mean for the Plague Doctor? The Plague Doctor was worthless. And it was suddenly useful. And now we're waiting. They took to do with the Bell, and he was worthless. And then when the Codex came out, suddenly he gives everybody within 7 inches of him. When you take the relic, everyone within 7 inches has a 5-up invo. So we'll see. I mean, I don't want to make any judgments on that until they actually announce it. But I'll be interested to see what they put in there. In that box. They're going to have a unit of Plague Marines, and they're going to put an HQ in there. And then what are they going to put in there for Demon Engines? You know, are they going to put Blight? Are they going to put Blight Haulers in there? It'd be interesting to turn Plague Doctors. That would be really cool. I would kind of... Vic.
Yes.
Microwave. That I think would be interesting to see if they do the Plague Surgeon and turn it into like a Chaplain-like character. I'd be cool with that. That would be acceptable to me. And that would I want to use my figures. And the problem is there were so many one slot elites they created. It's like, come on, guys, give me something here. So we'll see. My biggest complaint is that because of COVID, we haven't been able to play most of these freaking new rules, and they're already being done away with. So that being said, we're already looking into the new year. The January 2 codexes look like one of them is going to be Dark Angels. I don't know who the other one is. I know I was looking at it earlier, and there was a lot of, well, it looks kind of like this, kind of like that. Xenos needs some love. I think that's actually going to be either Eldar or Drukhari. Thank you, Plague Child. You gave me way too much mac and cheese, but that's fine. Make sure to check on your mom and see if she wants something. We are not having tacos tonight. Someone forgot to thaw the meat. So mac and cheese casserole. Now, if people were paying attention to the model releases for 40K, there are two. Yeah. No.
What?
Nothing. I'm on a stream.
Oh, are you dead?
I don't know. I mean, the Elder just got new models. They need other ones. But the Elder need new rules because right now they're not very good. Because they got rid of a lot of the stacking minuses and stacking bonuses, they're not very good right now. Drukhari are doing fine. Harlequins, I don't know. I don't know anything about Harlequins. I just thought they look cool. But when they were doing the coming soon and they were showing the new models where we saw the glimpses of the new Plague HQ, they showed off two other figures. Well, the problem is, Commodore, that also did that to the Tau. The Tau are in a terrible place right now, too. There should be a middle ground. That's the thing. There should be a middle ground. There should be a middle ground where every army can compete. And right now, the top 4 armies from 8th edition, I shouldn't say the top 4 overall 8th edition, but 4 armies that were in the top tier for large portions of 4th edition are all bottom tier trash right now. Tau are not competitive. Eldar are not competitive. Imperial Knights are not competitive. And Chaos Knights, not competitive. They're just, none of them are right now. They're just not competitive right now. And it's bad because, I mean, I love the aesthetics of the Tau. I love Eldar. I love the look of the Eldar. And I love my Knights. They're not. Yeah. And the thing is, right now they're bottom tier trash right now. I mean, Eldar are just absolutely raffle stomped. They're getting raffle stomped. Tyranids are beating the crap out of Eldar, and that's what they're going to. The same thing that we've talked about in the past, where every army is going to get buffed back to relevance as it gets its release. I think the thing we've got to worry about is them overcompensating. I don't want them to overcompensate. I would just like to make them everybody as close to even as possible. Right now, Marines, Custodians, and Death Guard are top tier. And Demons, which is just weird to me. Straight up demon lists are just wrecking people's face right now. And because I have aspirations of becoming a competitive player, I have to follow these kinds of things, and it's crazy to me. We're talking about that later because I am. We'll talk about Age of Sigmar in a little bit. Get through our 40K stuff. So yeah, I mean, a lot of good releases coming for 40K. It sucks for me because I might get some of this stuff and then it's going to sit for a month because we are on the edge of November. And as everybody knows, we started this tradition last year, and I am keeping to it. November is no Bolter November. Will be no 40K in November. November is the month I will dedicate to Age of Sigmar, Warcry, Underworlds, Blood Bowl. I think in that order. Yes, but 40K has those big gates. Shut up, Commodore. You'll get your gate. I've got most of it worked out. That gate's coming, but damn, son, leave me alone. It's not like you're going to build it. You just want to see it. And when I build it, you'll see it because we'll play on the table back here and I'll kick your ass by shooting you through the door. No, but yeah, in January, we're going to be, some friends of mine are starting up a Blood Bowl league. So it's going to be 8 players. There's 8 people involved. There's going to be an 8-player Blood Bowl league. So I have a Blood Bowl team I have to paint up. They're also talking about starting up a casual Underworlds group. Greg is a matter of that. I believe Commodore is also going to be part of that. Tina is going to be part of that. Start playing some alternate stuff. Something you can do with little less investment and more playtime. So we're going to be doing Underworlds. And we're trying to do it so that there are no duplicates. So everybody's playing a different race. So we know one guy's playing goblins. And the tournament or the league organizer is running lizard men. I think Greg is doing dwarves and Tina's doing wood elves. And Commodore, did you figure out what you're doing? You're doing undead, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to do orcs. I don't know. Part of me's thinking about doing ogres. To be honest, do something big and stupid because that's fun. I don't know. There's like 3 players in the league that I know are in, but I don't know how to play. I'm going to be going through. If I do orcs, I might have to order the box set. I might actually build it from those metal orcs I got because I can put them all on 25 rounds and play old Warhammer Fantasy orcs, which is what the original Blood Bowl models are based off of. Just put football stuff on them, and I can go to town with some green stuff, have a good time. So we'll see. That is something to look at this month because I do have a number of things I want to do. My big first off project, I bought the ogre half of a Feast of Bones box. Minus 1 figure, the big dude with the cannon, the Gutbuster, I think it's called. It's missing that 1 figure, so I got a real deal on it. Greg, thank you so much. I'm super happy with that. I've wanted that box so badly, and it's a great way. Those starter box type those dual army boxes are just such a great way to start off an army, and I love the look. I love the look of the ogres. I'm going to probably end up buying a Gutbuster to go with that army because I think it's a cool looking figure. And then I don't know what else I'm going to get with it. I'm going to get a few things. I don't actually even know what's all in the box. I actually haven't looked at it all that much. I just know there's a lot of cool stuff in there. So I want to get those. That's for No Bolt in November. That's my number 1 project, to get those built and painted and get those done. And then when the ogres are done, because getting these old figures got me revitalized into it. So once those guys are done, I'm going to look at what I have there and see how much of a playable force it is. We've got a little casual group of people that are playing 500 point Age of Sigmar just to get used to the rules. So if that's 500 points, yes, I did. And I thought they were pretty cool, Pale Arc. I really did. I thought they were very cool. I thought I commented on your Insta about them. I thought they were very cool. It's good stuff. I think you're right about the one thing about needing the splash of color. I would bring the highlight in a little bit, but I still think they look good. I like the color scheme you overall have picked for them. When I'm done with the ogres, I have my big project, which may or may not be next. Because if I have my Orc Blood Bowl team by then, they're next. And then I got to get a box of Underworlds. I got to figure out which army I want to play for them and get them put together. And then I guess when those 3 smaller projects are all done, then my big project. I have 2 halves of Slanesh from the Wrath and Rapture box. So it's 2 groups of 10 Daemonettes, 2 groups of the everything. I mean, it's just it's a pretty good setup. And then I have a friend of mine he got a bunch of Daemonettes and he hated them. And he's going to be using different figures. He wants to play Slanesh, but he doesn't want to play those guys. So he built them and he's like, ah. So he's selling me a group of them super cheap. So that'll give me my 3 battle lines. So I'll have 3 battle lines of Daemonettes, and then I can work on. I'd be happy to see that. And then build out from that base 3 battle lines. I have on order a Sissa Elki and a Keeper of Secrets that I should be getting soon. A friend of mine procured them for me for a really good price. So I'll have them as well, along with my Enchantress on her Harp of Nastiness, which I love. Probably need to get a Demon Prince. I don't know what I'm going to use in this thing. Again, this is not an army I build competitively, and that's the fun thing I think about this, is that I'm not looking at Age of Sigmar as something to play competitively. I'm like, I pick an army, and I just get lots of cool looking stuff. I'm doing great, Zane. How are you, buddy? I'm doing awesome, actually. Got my California blend vegetables. A little too much mac and cheese. A couple hot dogs in there. It's all good. But, oh, very nice. Yeah. And that's the thing I like about AOS. The group I play with just wants to play it. So nobody's looking to go and buy all the specific nastiest armies and nastiest lists and play that. And I have no desire to do that for them. I want to play Age of Sigmar casually. Kind of the same way I used to play Fantasy back in the day. I looked at a unit. I like the look of that unit. I'm buying it, and I got it, and I put it in my army. Which is why I had my Elven army. I had, as I've said before, yeah, casually. Just sit down, throw some units down, and play. Hey, look, it's rolling dice and playing and trying to win games, but it's just about playing the game. It's not like optimizing for this and that and things and this and have this unit and this. Nah. I'm going to play to Slanesh. That means I've got a lot of Slaneshi demons. I might get some Slaves of Darkness stuff to go with them, because one of the variations of playing them, you play them half human and half demons, and that's a benefit to them. Yay! They have, when you have half demons and half that one version of the army. Titty demons. I'm all about the titty demons. But that one variation of the army, when you have, I think it's the company of Sissa Elke. And if you have that, you have half your units are demons and half your units are humans. And as long as it's set up that way, you get a benefit to the I don't run away in fear thing. Whatever, Battle Shock, I think it's called. You have a benefit to Battle Shock. So that's really all the benefit of it is. And there's something else that does. I don't know. I just want to build. I just want to build them and paint them up and make them look just awesome. And I have a theme in mind for them. For those of you that I've talked to about this before, I have this total Hellraiser look at them. I mean, they're going to be super pale skin, and any clothing they have is going to be black and shiny. And there's a Warcry team called the Unmade that I might like. No, I don't like them. They were the first team I made. I looked at the other ones, but that's cool. I want the Unmade. My unmade are like one of my favorite armies. I love the unmade. I absolutely adore the unmade, and I painted them the same way. And when I look at the war cry, you can get them in double size units that you can put into regular Age of Sigmar armies. If I can take a double size unit of the unmade and use them as one of my human units in my Age of Sigmar and my Hedon Knights army, I will definitely be doing that. Because unmade, I mean, again, the whole reason I went with it is like Hellraiser's like my jam. That is like my favorite horror movie of all time. I love that movie. Oh God, I love that movie. So wonderful. So and the unmade are they're very reminiscent of a fantasy version of Hellraiser. So yeah. But that's the thing I look at for. I'm looking at Age of Sigmar. I've got a ton of Stormcast. I'm going to play them, and I want to play them. Had I not had somebody go, I want to play 40K and I want to play 2,000 points. Hey, Kaiser, thank you for stopping by, buddy. And hey, those unboxings you've been doing, Kaiser, those are really cool. I've been looking at some of that stuff you're unboxing. That's some pretty cool looking stuff. Had I not been, we got 40K actually going on this weekend. We have a club we can play at with social distancing, which is really great. And one of the guys that I have been, he's one of the most experienced and competitive level players in our group. And he and I have just never gotten around to playing a game. And so he and I have been trying to hook up and play a game for like a year and a half. I mean, just our schedules always seem to miss. We had one set up at one point, and then he had to work that day. And then any other time we've been able to schedule stuff, either he had something going on or I had something going on. And we finally, everything lined up. So he's got a brand new army that he's put together that he wants to go hard with. Primera Space Marines are banned in my group. I ban them. Why would you ban Primaris? Why would you ban Primaris? Why would you ban Primaris? Primaris are awesome. I love Primaris. The problem is, if our gaming group banned Primaris, we'd have nobody left. Because there's so... I mean, I look at our players, and I'm just thinking around the table at the normal workbench there. Okay, Thousand Suns, Dark Angels, Grey Knights, Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guard, Black Legion, Necrons / Emperor's Children. I mean, I am, I play a lot of armies, but I love me some Primaris. I think they're great. People who said they didn't have any flavor, neither did regular Marines either. You had to do stuff to them. You had to do stuff to them to make them not look so boring. Primaris guys just have a lot more canvas to work with. My apologies. I'm trying to chug this stuff down before it goes cold. Warhammer. I like 40K. I like Age of Sigmar. I don't think they produce bad figures. I think there are figures that definitely need to be updated. And I think some of the rules need to be addressed. And I think some armies need updating. But I don't think there's a bad thing. I honestly could say there's not a thing they produce that I don't like. And that's pretty, I wouldn't call myself a GW fanboy, but yeah, I'm a GW fanboy. I'm not going to lie. I really am a GW fanboy. I love their stuff. I love their models. Do I think they're perfect? No. Do I think they have problems? Yes. Do I have some serious issues with some of the ways they implement stuff? Yes. If you guys have ever been here before, you've heard me complain about it. They're not perfect, but it's one of the most popular hobbies in the world. It's a lot of fun. You dislike the bikes. You dislike the hover bikes. There are no hover bikes. The Primaris don't have any hover bikes. The only ones that got hover bikes in GW's line, only that have hover bikes is I think we have one Summit Primaris player, and I only bring the Primaris units I think look cool. And I really bring Marines because most are the only thing I don't like is the hover bikes. What did I? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, buddy. You missed me somewhere, and that's okay. I mean, Indominus is a great box. I can't wait to get working on my Necrons. Yes, I'm getting into another army. Necrons are my army for next year. I'm right now just compiling stuff with them. I'm not doing Tau next year. I have a couple Tau figures. I am right now just piling up. I have an Indominus set of. I have an entire Indominus box of Necrons, and I have a half of a starter box. I love you, Zane. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. See, and that's the thing, Mighty Joe. I don't agree. And the reason I tell you I don't agree is that I bought a box of Primaris guys in 8th edition. I mean, I bought a crap load of Primaris guys. And I built a bunch of wolves. And my wolves have a ton of character. The Marines look cool. The armor looks good. It's a good, large painting surface that if you want to do freehanding, there's plenty of space to do freehanding on them. If you want to stick bits in there to make them look cool, if you want to use some green stuff, there's plenty of areas to apply green stuff to do cool textures and cool stuff with them. I like Primaris Marines. Do I understand why people have a problem with them? Yes, because GW shoved them down our face in 8th edition about these are new things, and everyone's worried that we're getting rid of our old Marines. But now they've shown they're not getting rid of our old Marines. And now they're showing they even gave Marines a boost. They gave them all a second wound. So now what do you look at? You look at the difference between old Marines and new Marines. What's the difference? They're two different kinds of units. New Marines, Primaris Marines, are designed to a specific function. 5-man units doing a specific function. Old Marines, you look at their 10-man troop squad, you've got a plethora of different weapons in the group. You can have a handful of all kinds of different weapons to fit the usefulness of jack of all trades of them. You look at aggressors as opposed to terminators, or you look at eradicators as opposed to terminators. Eradicators do one thing. They walk up, they anti-tank the crap out of stuff. They're heavy armored anti-tank dudes. You look at aggressors. They're heavily armored horde killing units. That's really what their best thing they do. I like Gravis armor. I think it looks very cool. I like the way it looks. I like Terminators. Terminators are, again, jack of all trades. You can build a Terminator unit to do what you want. Do you want it to be a heavy melee? Do you want it to be heavy weapons? Do you want it to be a mix? They're heavy armor guys that have a mix of what they do. And they have the ability to bip in the middle of combat. I like Terminators. I like aggressors. I like Marines. I like Devastator squads, and I like Hellblaster squads. I think every single unit has its own place. Now, I will tell you, the one thing I think is unfair is that most of the unit-specific type, what do you call it? The tactics, the stratagems. I think the stratagems are there's most of the ones that affect all units. There aren't as many of them anymore. A lot of them are specifically designed to be used against or with specific Primaris units. And I kind of think that's kind of meh. That's kind of bullshit. But it doesn't take away the usefulness of Marines. And hey, one thing you can do with old Marines that you can't do with new Marines is you can put them in a drop pod and on turn one deploy them on the other side of the board. That's cool. And that's something other armies don't. Well, that's your opinion, Mighty Joe. I disagree. But again, that's the beautiful thing. Everybody has what they like and what they don't like. And that's what this game is. It's likable for everybody and not likable for some. Everybody can get their own joy out of it. I know some people that hate Marines overall and don't understand why anybody can play anything other than Chaos. I know some people that will only play Xenos. And I know Orc players that have 20,000 points of Orcs and one squad of kill team for Marines. So, it's your nerd. But that's the thing, Zane. Here's the thing, Zane. I can pull out my intercessors and I can show you specifically with my because I made mine like wolves. I bought 2 squads of wolves of the World Wolf Pack, and I used the headdresses and the capes and the packs and I used a lot of that stuff on my guys, including the flags. It still works with them. Their lives different, but the stuff still works, dude. So the flavor for the figures are what you put into them. If you're willing to kit bash on them, they'll be great. And that's the joy of Primaris. I took my Indominus box and I made them look like freaking wolves. I mean, they all got wolf-like heads and beards and hair and fur and lots of things hanging down them. Those are space wolves. But they're also in the Indominus box. And I think everybody has that ability. But the Primaris are more of a blank slate, meant for you to customize them to what fits your joy. And that's what this game about, is finding your joy. So with that, we're going to wrap up for the night. Quick note here, if you would be so kind, hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, please hit subscribe and ring that bell, because you never know when we're going to do one of our other crazy streams. We do kind of random streams all over the time. Typically we do them on the weekends, but sometimes some nights we got nothing going on and we're just hobbying, and I'll throw in the camera and while I'm painting. So it happens. So throw that ring. Thank you so much for showing up with me tonight. Also, we do have merch. We have Patreon, and you guys may have seen me wearing lately. I've shown a couple pieces of my new masks. I've got a set of COVID masks that I am helped create the idea for, that my roommate is producing. I'll have a link to that down below. If you're looking to get a COVID mask with your chapter or symbol or whatnot on it, take a look at the link below once this is published, and give the Wandering Kendra a look. She does really good work. I personally vouch for how good her stuff does. She has a Necron mask. I'm going to show you this real quick. But she has a Necron mask. And yes, I have an orc one. It's on my Instagram, which you will find at the Gamecraft Dragon. I actually have an orc one that one side is black and white checkers. The other side is the blue of my Death Skulls with a big black orc skull in the middle of it. It looks great. So take a look at my Insta. Like I said, I'll have a link to it down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. Remember, no Volter November next month. So we're going to see a lot more Age of Sigmar stuff. Until then, take care, be well. Remember, epic your board, epic your game, and epic your life. Be good to people around you, and wear your damn masks. Wash your damn hands. Flatten that curve, people. Take care.